An entire city has been evacuated. But why? What happened here? It looks like a disaster zone, but it's completely silent. Buildings crumble to dust, cars explode, and people clutch their ears in pain. There's not a sound to be heard anywhere. Our enemy doesn't use bullets or bombs. He uses silence. A silence that can tear a city apart. A hero who may not be an Avenger, but is certainly worthy of the title. Let's find out. We pull back to watch the Avengers attack Claw. Or perhaps it's a brand new supervillain who can manipulate sound waves, causing earthquakes and shattering glass with a mere whisper. But as they pass through a crevice in the mountains, they are met with the sight of an oasis. Lush greenery surrounds a magnificent city made of crystal. Waterfall cascades down its towers, birds fly between its spires, and the air vibrates with an unseen energy. Black Bolt communicates with gestures and writing, but Tony brings in some advanced tech so that they can communicate more easily. The Inhumans gather around them as Tony shows them diagrams of the weapon they will need. Glass and concrete shatter as buildings crumble to dust. Cars explode and people cover their ears in agony. Maximus, unable to hear anything, screams in frustration. As he lashes out blindly, the harmonic dampeners activate their secondary function, repelling him and knocking him out cold. Black Bolt opens his mouth and whispers a single word, releasing a powerful bolt of concentrated sound energy. The dampeners contain and direct it, sending a concussive wave crashing into Maximus. He is sent flying through the air, crashing into a nearby building and knocking himself out. But Black Bolt raises his hand, stopping in his tracks. Wait a minute. You promised us you wouldn't tell anyone about the Inhumans. Are you really going to broadcast this to the whole world, me? Says Tony. Oh no, I wouldn't dream of it. He winks. But maybe someone else might be willing to. Black Bolt raises his hands in protest, but it's too late. Medusa sighs and turns away. I guess there's no rest for the wicked. Stop, he whispers. The world around them freezes. For a moment, the only sound is the wind and the rain. Then the harmonic dampeners activate, sucking all sound into a protective bubble. It gets quieter and quieter until there is nothing left but silence. We need something that can absorb sound, something that can neutralize his powers, he says. Something like, says Black Bolt, holding up a strange, intricately designed sphere, harmonic dampeners. They amplify sound waves and focus them into powerful beams. If we reverse the polarity, it should absorb kinetic energy and reduce everything inside the containment field to total silence. Exactly, says Tony. Except ours will be mobile. We need to suck all the noise out of the area. I'll call them harmonic dampeners too. Tony sets to work with the help of the Inhumans, while the rest of the Avengers wait outside. Reed smiles. That's the place. They land near a cluster of buildings, where they are soon greeted by an elite guard of Inhumans. What do you think, he asks. Incredible, says Black Bolt. Your technology is most impressive. Tony grins. Thanks. Just make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on all our latest tech. Black Bolt stares at him blankly. Right, says Tony, clearing his throat. Shh. So it's like a big pair of headphones, except instead of playing music, they suck the noise out of whatever's inside their range. Exactly, says Black Bolt, taking the lead. With this, we can protect Haven City. If it works, we may have a chance against Maximus. Medusa, says a regal-looking woman. Gorgon, how good of you to join us. A little late, sister, says Medusa, but we've brought friends. Maximus leads them into the city to meet the rest of the royal family, including Karnak, Crystal, Triton, and Azun. Maximus, however, isn't interested in pleasantries. Why did you come here? He demands. Because we need your help, says Reed. You see, we have a situation back in New York. And what is that? Asks Maximus. Well, says Captain America, it's kind of hard to explain. As he does, Gorgon shakes her head. Don't bother telling them anything. They won't help us anyway. Are you sure? Says Captain America. Absolutely. You humans are all alike. Selfish, greedy, power-hungry. Why would we risk helping you? Medusa steps forward. Because we don't want to risk Maximus being right. That's why we're here. Whatever his powers, he's proving tough to take down. While they discuss strategy, we move in closer to Black Bolt, who's observing everything in silence. Lets out a small sigh as he watches Medusa speak. He then looks over at Tony Stark, who also seems to be struggling to contain his thoughts. Black Bolt walks over to him. Tell me, he signs, Why did you come to us for help? Tony writes something on a pad. We don't know how to stop him. Our weapons aren't working, and every attack just makes things worse. You are our best chance. Black Bolt reads it and nods his head. Thank you, he whispers, surprising everyone. But before Tony can respond, Maximus speaks up. Enough of this alliance. Humans are only here to exploit the Inhumans. It's time to seal their fate. Black Bolt stops him with a gesture. Wait, he whispers. Maximus scowls. What? You are quick to judge, brother, says Black Bolt. I sense compassion in these humans. They mean us no harm. He turns back to Tony. Show me what you have in mind. Thor blasts him with lightning, only for it to explode outwards and throw the god of thunder back. Hulk smashes into him but bounces off as if hitting a wall of solid sound. Vision tries phasing through him, but that just short-circuits his systems. Even Captain Marvel blasts him with all her power, which just ends up shaking the buildings around them. No matter how hard they try, the Avengers can't get close enough to defeat him. We zoom out as Iron Man narrates. There is one hero who can beat this monster into silence, the one hero who can destroy him. Black Bolt. He turns to reveal himself standing before us, battered and bruised. I'm sorry, Tony, says Captain America. We got there as fast as we could, but it's just a ghost town. Everyone is gone. Tony walks over to a ruined sign reading, Welcome to Haven City, closes his eyes, remembering when it stood tall and proud. It wasn't always like this, he says. This place was once full of life and music and laughter. Now it's a tomb. As we approach, we hear Iron Man's voice. When it comes to soundtracks, you need a hero with a particular set of skills to counter this kind of attack. But how do you track down a hero who hasn't spoken a word in years? They retreat onto the roof of a nearby building where they can finally catch their breath. I can't believe it, says Black Widow. He seems invincible. Not if we can help it, says a familiar voice. From the shadows emerges a figure that makes both Tony and Medusa gasp in surprise. Lockjaw. You brought him here, says Medusa. Yes, says Reed. I know it's a long shot, but we may have no other choice. Lockjaw can teleport anywhere in the multiverse. Reed explains to the others about the Inhumans, an ancient race of superpowered beings. Medusa's sister, Maximus, used teleportation technology to hide her people away from prying eyes. But Maximus betrayed them, using the coordinates of their new home to attack them. Maximus said he would destroy the Inhumans unless we came to him and begged for mercy, says Medusa. Never said anything about anyone else getting involved. She clenches her fists. I won't let my people become pawns in Maximus' game. Good, says Reed. Then let's go bring him to justice. They arrive in the Himalayas, a place of ice and rock. After some more negotiating, Maximus finally agrees to help, but only because he wants to capture the Avengers. In an Inhuman workshop, Tony Stark and Black Bolt work together to design a solution. Soon, Tony calls out, Okay, I think we're ready. They gather around as he unveils his invention. They transport back to New York, just in time to see Maximus unleash a devastating sonic attack. From the Avengers, a voice asks, What's happening? The Avengers cheer. Looks like we did it, says Tony, all thanks to you, Black Bolt. But suddenly, Medusa speaks up. Now check out, What if Thanos never wore his gauntlet? Or click this other video instead.